Sapoops, it's always a monumental source of joy when a child is born. And that's why today I'm proud to introduce you to PAS's firstborn Sabah child. Sapoops, you might know that in the Sabah state elections, West Malaysia parties got brutally destroyed. It wasn't just DAP that lost its 8 seats, by the way, but also the entirety of Perikatan Nasional, which lost 72 out of the 73 seats, except for just 1 seat won by the Moon Party. Alright, time to heat out, migrate, and majulah Singapura. And here we must introduce you to Ali Akbar. This is the man who has become the Adun of Karambunai, winning an 11-cornered fight with a majority of 365. And there our man goes Sekalung Tahniah, winning it all. Social media popularity skyrocketing to the point that he went up to 100,000 followers just yesterday, before now going up to 121,000. There our wonder child is, and here the rest of the country is wondering to themselves if Sabah is going to be overtaken by extremism, drama, 100,000 people suggesting that we have Chendol on our aeroplanes. It does feel like there's a seed of darkness that's taken root in East Malaysia, and if it grows and grows, then before you know it, we really will end up in a timeline where no part of this country is actually safe, where they will talk about tolerance, but instead spread vitriol as they always have. One self-favoring comment after another, even as president for life, talks about how people who wear shorts are more animal than human. If there's a small condolence, it's that the majority isn't very big, and for all you know, if this guy were to really go ahead and introduce anything like that into East Malaysia, the virus might be disinfected. It will turn out that this was a vaccination, and what doesn't kill us can only make us stronger. But apparently it's true that this guy won the election with his personality though, and apparently he's been contributing ever since he got a nominated state assembly spot. So if you believe in personality over party, then maybe this guy would be good to represent Perikatan, an actual personable, TikTok famous social media master of the universe out there to save the world, or to boil the frog and set the house on fire. Lord knows. But well, past as he is, if you actually look at his background, you'll notice that he's a reasonably educated person, a geographer apparently, not your standard issue penunggang agama, religiously manipulative Al-Azhar trained so-called scholars. The dude's been working hard, working the ground, and apparently doing what other politicians don't actually do, which is kind of a good sign. Although frankly, I think it's just literally the bare minimum, and Sabah deserves to have more people who would actually do that, and actually be able to win trust regardless of race and religion. But either way, this is what the people of Karambunai chose, and I intend to respect that. If I were to think about the people that this guy reminds me of, first thought would be potentially a Nasaie Ismail, or maybe a Dr. Sam, presumably well educated, #technocratic, the kind of guy who is much more likely than his religious walaun counterparts to actually get a job done, which is kind of the whole point of leading a government, and infinitely better than just trying to gaslight people with religion all day and all night long. I don't know if he's not going to do that, cause he very well could, but we don't have evidence that he is going to do that, so maybe we shouldn't prejudge. But either way, firstborn child of PAS or not, I can't help but think that this is gonna be like a Jacob and Esau story, partly just cause of the way that PAS is, whereby if you are one of those religiously trained #Majlis Shura people, then you get more power, more say, and it's been like that ever since Hadi Awang cemented his rule and decided to become #president for life. So yeah, don't know if this guy is gonna be able to survive or thrive in PAS unless they decide to finally tone down their frankly useless emphasis on religion and race and actually behave themselves, adapting their conduct to an actually multiracial, multi-religious society, which they have failed to do so for the longest time. I mean, Ali Akbar personally seems to be an alright guy. I'm not seeing him go out and obsess over any number of religious things or try to force it down people's throats. So if that's the meta that he's playing, then a small part of me hopes that that's gonna influence the party and not the other way around. If you had a guarantee that people from PAS would not force down race and religion down people's throats, wherever it is that they go and whatever it is that they do, I could possibly vote for pass. But knowing what I know from the past couple of years, the answer is that I never would. It is disgusting from the bottom of my soul to even think about voting for pass, and my mind wouldn't change, not for Ali Akbar, not for anyone I know of in Malaysia, and not for the foreseeable future. But yeah, what do you think of pass's firstborn child in Sabah, Saboops? Good, bad, or you're migrating out of Malaysia? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. That's all I have to say about that, and bye.